Brian, now that you've had a chance to digest the news after a day, the party yesterday and
I'm
everything
still
else,
excited.
You're still feeling good about the World Cup and everything.
Oh yeah, we're still excited. It's really big news. Everything I said yesterday I meant, and I would re-emphasize it. It's going to be fantastic for our city. It's just going to push soccer around here a little bit higher. Good news. Good day yesterday.
With how FIFA did it, having kind of geographical pods and having Seattle close to Vancouver, this kind of Pacific Northwest corridor this here, how cool would it be to have, people going between those two cities along this?
We enjoy going up to Vancouver for games. We go up to Whistler as vacation when we have time off. I mean, Vancouver and British Columbia in itself it's a beautiful part of the world. So, we share that with Vancouver and BC for sure.
Now, looking at the team you guys got right here, with the LAFC coming up tomorrow, how do you make up with the loss of Raúl Ruidíaz looking on the attack?
Well, we did it before. Earlier this year, we had some pretty big games in Champions League and league matches where we were able to, fill his shoes. Freddie and Will be more than capable and hungry to get some more playing time.
Brian, how much do you have to change your style without Ruidíaz, or?
Well, I think the team changes its style.
Right.
I don't purposely change the style. I might make small comments here or there, like, look, Will Bruin is different than Raúl. Why is that? Well, Raúl is, his movement in the box, that goal that he scored from Leo Chu, classic Raúl. Will can get his head on things, maybe early service with Will to get his head on things. Will's still able to run in between the center backs and score tap-ins as well, but Will has a couple of things. Raúl has a couple of different things. And then Freddie, he kind of combines both. Freddie's pretty good on the ground in between the six, and he also can score some goals with his head as well. So they're each different. We're not changing the whole team. We're just messaging a little different.
On the second goal, it really started with Freddie playing defense. He poked the ball, and just it's his ability. Obviously, his defense underrated, but just what does he bring as an all-around player, up and down the field?
Well, Freddie's done very well for us in his career, all of that. He's got a ton of experience. He was motivated against his former team. There's a lot of good storylines there. Will be motivated again, like I said. I'm concerned that Raúl's not here on the field, but I'm not, if that makes sense. We have a pretty deep squad, and we'll be okay.
You mentioned Gaymar, him being back and available. He was a little late coming on to training today. Does that say anything about whether it will be available tomorrow?
You are very astute, Jada.
You with LA and their play. How are they different? How do you feel that they've been able to lead this?
Well, they have a similar style from when Bob Bradley has it, with subtle differences, subtle changes. I think they still, formationally, they still play 4-3-3. Carlos Vela, when he's healthy and available, he kind of dictates the style of their team a little bit, but Ili Sanchez has come and done a really nice job. They've upgraded the goalkeeping situation. I just think they have a really good team. They're well coached, well organized, and it's going to be a hard game tomorrow, for sure.
Is it a game gauging, gauging in terms of, yes, we're definitely on the right trajectory outside of obvious, you've been successful with the wins lately, or is it that traditional, the last couple of years, rivalry type of matchup?
Well, LAFC's turned into a good rival, yes. I would agree with that, Jada. What are we taking this game as? They're top of the table, supporter shield. We're at home. Intense game. You know, it's a mid-season game, but there's going to be some intensity to it. We're in a good run of form, so it should be. I don't want to use this, playoff type atmosphere, but you're gonna find two teams that want to win.
Coach, going back to the World Cup, what does it say? I guess what kind of progress went into maybe, I don't know if you could picture this kind of thing happening 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
I could.
You could?
Yeah.
I guess, what kind of work has gone in for this city to
Well,
get to this point?
the work has started, or the base, maybe not the specific work, I think I know where you're going with this. The base of all of the support for soccer and World Cup in this country started in '74. Started when the Kingdom opened. We had Pelé, the Cosmos, through the 80s. There were some lean times, yes, but '94, the first World Cup, kicked off MLS, right? And then, there's been some other bids to, host, but we haven't had them. They didn't come through. We learned some stuff along the way. I think Seattle in particular, the coalition of all of the state and local governments coming on board. You have a motivated fan base. You have a successful team. You've got ownership that really wanted to push this. I mean, I think everything came together, and the work, yes, was here recently, but it all started with a good base to start that work from.
Yeah. And I'm sorry if someone asked you yesterday, but can you talk me through the moment where you kind of find out that Seattle's going to be hosting?
I was in my office. Wish I was at the Atlantic Crossing drinking beer, but I was in my office doing my work. I'm glad that Seattle was the very first announcement, the West Coast, and then as soon as I knew we were in, I shut the TV off and I got back to work because we're preparing for a big game.
You mentioned the World Cup in '94, creating MLS, really, spurring that on. When you look at soccer and how it's grown in the United States over the last, 5 decades, really, what can this World Cup evolve the sport into in this country?
Well, look, it's premature a little bit, but you've got NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and hockey. We're still behind those four, right? So that's going to move us closer to which group of sport, which sport, whatever. I don't know if we'll ever catch NFL. It's still America. America's game is baseball. I don't know, but it's going to push us closer. That I know. The amount of money that this is going to be generating, all of the TV, the billions of eyeballs on Seattle and the rest of the world and soccer, it's going to be a big deal.
Right. On the same kind of question, how does it push MLS with the other leagues?
Well, that was a little, trickier. I think our league has been growing as a growth industry. The new TV deal, let's see how that pans out, because that was a thing that was we weren't in the same level as far as our TV deals were concerned, but now we have a pretty big number out there. Is it going to work? Let's see. But the fact of the matter is we need more TV revenue. The league needs to generate more revenue to keep expanding, bring more better players. Salary caps are going to rise. So that's a more complicated issue. Go ask Garth.
What?
Garth's right over there.
What can you say about the soccer? What can you say about the soccer culture here in Seattle, and why is the city kind of deserving of that bit?
Well, it's great. Like I said, it comes back to 1974. A lot of work was put in. A lot of youth soccer in this area too. There's a lot of boys and girls that play youth soccer. There's a lot of adult men and women that play soccer. I mean, there's a lot.